Good morning. Let's talk about what I'm wearing today. It is nearing the end of the work week, but I'm wearing this rayon blouse from Uniqlo. It's just in a black. I have this in a bunch of different colorways. This is a wool blend skirt from Uniqlo. I don't think they have this one anymore, but I just like the pattern on this and the colorway. I'm wearing some black tights from probably, I don't know, H&M. And then I am wearing flats, but of course, gonna switch into some boots before I head out the door. So this is what I really look like before I head out the door. I have a cashmere scarf from Hudson's Bay. This is a Uniqlo jacket, and then my winter boots. I also have a parka in my car because it snowed a little bit overnight, and I think it might snow again today, so I want to be prepared just in case I need it. I also, before I get to work, I have to fill up. I am also going to grab a coffee. Not too much snow, but still. Okay, so it snowed a little bit more today. A little bit of a departure from earlier. Glad I brought my parka. I'm home now and I am just gonna get changed and have some dinner. We got some sushi for dinner. And I got this in the mail. It's like this giant box. I actually could not for the life of me figure out what this was for, and then I opened it and I figured out what it was. I've been getting a lot of mail or parcels recently, so I couldn't figure out why I was getting a UPS delivery, but it is for this 5-piece nursery essential that I'm giving as a baby shower gift. It did come in a pretty huge box though. It's like basically to my waist. The baby shower that I am giving that as a gift for has already come and passed. It was actually the weekend that I had my professional development course, so I was unable to attend. So I'm going to be seeing her next week, so I'll just give it to her then. I also got this super cute card when I was at Target, and yeah, I meant to give it to her before her shower, but I didn't get a chance to, so I thought this was so cute. Don't judge me, but I am wearing the same sweater as yesterday. That's why I bought another one, because I actually wear the sweater all the time when I'm home, even actually when I go out. Anyway, let's open day 8 of our advent calendar. A snowman. Ugh, I think this one is hollowed again. Lizzie's. It's hollow. Oh, you can have that one. No. Uh-oh. 5-second rule. I did enjoy that Lindt chocolate, although I'm still waiting for one with a filling. But anyway, before I end today's video, I wanted to answer some questions. One of the questions, if I can find it here, was on my Instagram, and it was, why do I always sit presumably on the floor in my living room? And the answer is because I find it really comfy. So I am sitting on the floor right now. I have the couch behind me. We have like an L-shaped couch. So I kind of sit in the nook of the corner of the couch, and I don't know why, but I find it super comfortable. Like, we have this really plush kind of shaggy carpet or a rug that I'm sitting on, and I don't know why, but I just find it super comfortable. So this is typically where I sit, whether I'm like hanging out in the living room, I'm reading, I'm watching Netflix, catching up on YouTube videos. Usually I'm like sitting on the floor in this area. Sometimes I will sit on the couch, and my favorite spot is just like behind me, basically in the same spot but just elevated. And yeah, that's why I sit on the floor. The other question I wanted to answer was another one I received on Instagram, and it is, what are my favorite apps? So to do that, I thought we would do a fun little screen recording. That's also another question I actually get, is how I get the image of my phone into my video. So it's pretty simple, I guess. I don't know if you're a PC user, but if you are a MacBook Pro user, I basically will plug my phone in using a lightning cable into my laptop, open up QuickTime Player, and then it will allow me to create a new movie recording, and then you can actually choose your phone as the source to create your movie. So let's just quickly go through what is on my phone. Again, I'll move over a little bit so you guys can see what I see over here. So if you are wondering where the background is from my phone, where I got that from, I actually took it while I was in the Glossier, what do they call it? Glossier Canyon at their store in Los Angeles. So that is where this photo came from. On a side note, I really do love Face ID. I think it's super intuitive most of the time when it works. Yeah, it's just really easy, especially for passwords or Apple Pay. But this is what my phone looks like. So this is kind of like the main screen that I have, and I try to keep it minimal. One, so I don't get super distracted with all the different apps. Two, so that I can display a pretty background. So this is a photo that I took a year, 2 years ago, no, last year, when I was in Paris with my mom. Just a picture of the Eiffel Tower. And then at the bottom, you have your rows of icons or apps. So I just have messages, mail, phone, and then an assortment of different apps that I keep in a folder. So Safari, I use Safari a lot, photos, Google Maps, YouTube, VSCO, which is a photo, I use it more for photo editing, notes, Instagram, Wink for our lights, and also Nest for our thermostat and also our Nest Cam. For the mail app, I actually don't use Apple's I guess app. I actually use the Gmail app called Inbox. The reason I like Inbox is I just prefer the user interface. I only have my personal emails on here. I actually have unlinked my email that I use for YouTube on here because I was getting, I probably still am getting hundreds of emails, and most of them are really spam emails, and it's just really frustrating to get hundreds and hundreds of emails of basically nonsense and to have that clogging up my inbox. So I actually have unlinked it from my phone, so I actually have to log in onto a laptop or another computer in order to view those mails. So when we swipe over, that is where all of the apps kind of just explode. I typically don't bother swiping and trying to search through this huge mess to find apps. What I usually do is I swipe down, and then I will just use the search feature to type in whatever app I'm looking for. So if, for example, I want to see what kind of good deals are in my area in terms of sales, there's a really good app for that. It's called Flipp. So I just type Flipp, and then the app kind of just auto-populates, and then I can browse through, you know, whatever I'm looking for. Usually I use this to search for things that I'm particularly interested in. So for example, let's say I want to look at Indeed Labs, if there's any good sales. So here it says at Shoppers Drug Mart, they have a sale on until Friday for 20% off. So anyway, that's usually what I do, because really to like go through all of these apps, it's a bit time consuming, because I try to lump everything in together into a way that kind of makes sense, but at the same time it's still like a lot going on. In this first little category here, I have my Tangerine app because that is who I bank with, also my Fido app because that is my network provider. The next couple of apps are for photos and videos. To be honest, I don't use hardly any of these. I might use them every once in a while, but I typically will just use VSCO, or if I'm trying to put things together to make thumbnails, I'll use Picframe or something. But a lot of these apps are really just, I don't hardly ever use them. I just keep them in here because I have 256 gigabytes of storage on my phone, and if I do want that app, I like to be able to know that it's there if I ever do need to use it. But I have tons of different like photo editing apps in here and video editing apps. I don't particularly love any of them other than VSCO. I do find that one to be super useful. Picframe for, again, making thumbnails. So basically you can just stitch a bunch of pictures together in a certain format. If you want to do YouTube thumbnails, you want to do 16:9 ratio aspect, and that will get you like a really nice well, 16:9 ratio. Afterlight is also good. Facetune I sometimes use to actually whiten backgrounds and things like that. If I want to like gray out an image, I like to use Facetune for that. I also really love to track my fuel economy because I'm a freak like that. So I use Fuely. I used to use Gas Cubby, but they actually were rebranded back to Fuely. So this basically just tells me how much money I spend on fuel and how many kilometers I've driven, and also the average fuel economy. So since I have had my vehicle, I have driven 94,000 kilometers. What else do we have on here? I have Spotify. That is my music player of choice. I used to have Apple Music, but I didn't really like it as much as Spotify, so I'm just like fully into Spotify. I subscribe to a premium membership. It's like $9 a month. I really love the Shortcuts app, so I have tons of shortcut apps here. So just to show you guys how the shortcut feature works. So essentially the shortcut allows you to customize different things so that you can do things easier. So for example, if I click on tax, it'll ask me how much, I don't know, an item is. So let's say it's $10, and then it says if there's any discounts. So I think I set this up to be a percentage. So if I put like 20, it will take 20% off of the purchase price. So the discount here gives me a little summary. So the discount is $2, the price before tax is $8, the tax is $1.04, and then the total cost is $9.04. So I have that just, I don't know if there's like a sale or something happening, so I can just quickly calculate without having to do the math in my head how much something is going to be. The same thing goes for tips. So let's say there's like an $80 bill and I want to tip 20%. It tells me what the tip amount is and what the total needs to be. I just find shortcuts to be super easy and I love to use it. I already mentioned before the app Stylebook, so I love this app. I've been using it a lot recently, so it allows me to kind of curate my outfits, and then it allows me to track what I am wearing during the week, and I can figure out what I wear too much, what I don't wear enough, and then it also helps me kind of organize my wardrobe. I have a whole folder of apps that I was using while I was in the States. So Universal, Disney, probably going to delete those. WestJet, that's the airline we flew on. Turo, that's how we, the app we used to rent our vehicles while we were there. E-Declaration, which actually does not save you any time, so I don't recommend downloading that. So I'll probably delete most of the things in here except for Uber. The last noteworthy thing in here is Parceltrack. So that's how I track the parcels that I am having delivered. So you could basically just put, you can add the tracking number, the courier, a little note about what it is, and then it will send you notifications on the status. So if it's out for delivery, if it's already been delivered. So this is what I've been using to track all of the parcels that I've been getting, because I feel like I've been getting tons. So here I'm still waiting on 2 Glossier parcels. The Glossier and Uniqlo parcel that arrived a couple of days ago are denoted here, so I can probably just delete those. I got the paid version of this, which I think is like a flat $2.99. There's another parcel app that you can download, but for some reason they charge you $2.99 every single year, which I didn't want to pay. So this is just like a one-time payment of $2.99. So I thought it was worth it. I think if you just get the free version, it limits you to like 3 or 4 parcels that you can track at once, which apparently is not enough for me. Anyway, so I want to show you guys quickly what was on my phone and the apps that I use. So hopefully you found maybe a new-ish app that you've never heard of before. I doubt it. I feel like all of these apps are pretty standard. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.